Welcome, everybody, to Hell Yeah Pawpaw Podcast. HYPP, as Mina says. In the studio, I have Ben Sauter and Mina Zaky. Why don't you go ahead and tell them, hey, guys.
What's going on? Thanks for having me and for using my name, HYPP, baby.
Yeah, I think it's got a nice ring to it.
I just want to thank you for this opportunity to speak into a mic.
Oh, my gosh. So, a little bit about Ben and Mina. These guys are some of my best friends from college. We actually were in a fraternity together. Zeta Phi till I die. So we all three originally started playing football at Otterbein. Ben played all 4 years. Mina and I were one and done. Hell yeah, pawpaw.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, I don't really know where this whole podcast thing is going. This is my first of any sorts like this. Originally, about a month ago, I had this idea to do something that I can interact with my fans more and my following. And really, it turned out to be, I just kind of want to express myself, and I want people to see me beyond the music. So rather than having someone that I would be interviewing, I had my two closest buddies that I think could kind of give a good depiction about what this podcast is going to be about, and I think they can also introduce me in the sense of kind of beyond country music, what you guys see me as. So what's everybody drinking today?
This is high quality H2O right here.
Nice.
This is a Land Shark Lager, fins up.
Fins up. Every time that I see Land Shark or I see you drink it, I think about Tequila Cowboy sophomore year of college.
Oh my god.
No, you're the worst. You're the
I was
worst.
the absolute worst.
Let's preface with like it's an expensive beer. Tequila Cowboy's not cheap. I think it was like $5.50 for a Land Shark.
Yeah.
So
I remember it was me, you, Ben, and Cheyenne. So we get there, and they three get their Land Sharks, and they're just rubbing it and kissing it, talking about how awesome it is, having a circle jerk, talking about it. And I remember I had this bowl of a margarita they had there. Do you guys remember?
Yeah.
Was it like $15?
It was like $15, but it was every bit of 32 to 42 ounces. Like, it was huge. And I remember just swigging it down. You guys had already finished your first Land Sharks, and you guys get another round. Oh my gosh, my Land Shark's so cool. And I remember I came through right in a row, 1, 2, 3, topped all of your Land Sharks, went everywhere. And I'm pretty sure that I didn't talk to you guys for like another hour. You guys lost me.
well, yeah, I didn't know that like you could top somebody's drink like that. I didn't know that was like a thing. It must be some type of hillbilly physics.
It's not hillbilly physics. My dad taught me that.
Yeah, my dad taught me that
And
too.
he's definitely not a hillbilly.
Yeah, my dad did not teach me that. That is not a conversation I had with Ehab.
Hey, if you want to piss your friends off, all you got to do is just like take the bottom of your beer, if they got a beer bottle, hit the top of it, and just watch.
You did piss all of us off.
Yeah. I remember I ran off and went to the Wannabe karaoke bar, met some guy that I talked there, and you guys were looking for me the whole night.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the first time Devin performed was in the Wannabes, actually. Let's tell that story.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding, of course. Do you remember when we went and that dude did what he did let the bodies hit the floor? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
He was literally like back of the throat screaming, "Let the bodies hit the floor," and everybody in the bar was like, "What is going on?"
there was like a whole 20 people there. Like, it wasn't packed or anything in the smaller section, but it was hilarious.
You could tell he was like daydreaming about that. Like, I'm gonna go to Wannabes and I'm gonna
gosh.
light it up. Why don't you tell the fans a little bit about maybe when you started playing or when you started performing? I know that when we first met, besides the fact that Ben called me Manny for 2 weeks.
That was hysterical.
3 weeks.
After a while, you had a gig in the first semester, or you had a time to perform in the first semester
or second semester. First year.
And you took it pretty seriously. We got to watch you practice pretty much every day.
So I guess word kind of got around on the small campus that I played music, and Mina's brother, who was the social chair of the fraternity at the time, basically informed us of the band night that we do every year and said that I am opening up for the band. And I was halfway paying attention to that chapter, I believe. And I was like, the I am. And he was like, no, like, if you don't, you're out of the fraternity. Like, this is, like, sorry, you suck.
He forced you.
He really did. I don't know. So I took it so seriously, and I had never played in front of people, like, especially to that extent. I'd never been on a stage, and I practiced my ass off for like 3 weeks. And I remember practicing so hard, like every free time I'd come back to the room, and I had like 4 or 5, maybe 6 songs picked out that I was going to play, and I would just play them over and over and over again. Well, I ended up developing laryngitis, and it's like a day before the show, and I can't talk. So I just remember drinking a lot of like lemon tea and
codeine.
No.
No, we're kidding.
No.
Kidding. He had laryngitis. Ben and I listened to this podcast with Luke Bryan was on, and he actually said the cure to that is Lay's potato chips. So next time your throat's kind of tickling you, feeling odd,
that's just ridiculous.
He said the oil and the salt from the Lay's potato chips will set you free.
I'm weak.
And like in Luke Bryan's like early career, I guess he used to eat like a whole family-sized bag of them.
God.
Do you have any rituals then? Like, because that was his kind of ritual. Do you have any rituals?
Yeah, that was
like
like help him like calm his nerves and like get him like jacked up rather than nervous, I guess.
I do have some. Every show, I get there about an hour early, just to kind of like talk to the booking agent or the owner, and just kind of like get a feel for the vibe and just kind of relax a little bit. That way I'm not like running 100 miles an hour. And the first thing that I do is get like a double vodka Red Bull. I don't know why I chose that. I think it's just a little bit of a pick me up on top of a little bit of just like
take me down,
chill the hell out. Like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, there's sometimes it's not that I get nervous. It's just I get nervous about everything coming together. Like, it's not, I don't really get nervous about singing in front of people and performing, but like when you have a 5-person band, it is making sure that every note, every beat, every piece of equipment is working. So like that's kind of what I get nervous about, and just trying to coordinate all that. So a double shot of vodka and Red Bull. As who started the whole vodka Red Bull?
Lettle, actually.
Alec Lettle.
Yeah, Lettle / Lane. I think both of them really threw it up in.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but this has always been like kind of a question of mine. Like, I'd say like most of our freshman sophomore year, so for about 2 years, you did mostly solo gigs. You played a lot of gigs. We did stuff in Polaris, Easton, right. Even probably close to downtown where you were doing acoustic gigs, and then eventually like you got a band. And to me, I'm like, well, like I could see why he might want more like sound and stuff, but it doesn't seem as economically. It seems kind of counterintuitive, like because then you have to pay your band members,
right?
So could you
explain
like your thought process of like, you know, like I'm doing well, I'm making some money on a solo gig, but I would like to expand more and like have a band,
right?
Because that was always.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I don't think I've ever explained that to anybody, so that's actually a really good question. So first and foremost, this isn't to like just kind of like combat what you have to say, but like I don't do it for the money. Like, don't get me wrong, music, especially if you're a broke college kid, it's nice because you can go. You don't have to work during the week. I can play for 3 hours, which is, in my opinion, is fun, and then make money from doing that. The thing is with acoustic acts is that there's always a ceiling that you can't get past. Because at the end of the day, like for what I'm aspiring to be, like I would love to sell out shows in arenas and play for thousands of people. But what's great about Columbus is like, in my opinion, I think it's at least, you know, a fifth or a fourth of what Nashville is in terms of country music venues and a country music scene, which I've been very blessed with. But with that being said, like those shows, a lot of those people won't book unless you got a full band. So that's kind of where I made that transition.
And then your guitarist just up and moves to Egypt.
Oh my gosh.
The homeland.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Connor, my lead guitarist, he's the first guy that I met really in starting this whole thing. Connor was I played a lot of shows with a guy named Jacob Lonis, and when it came time for me to I just sat down and I was like, I need a band. Like, it's time that I upgrade. And Jacob sent me this contact, Connor McMonigal, and immediately, what's the first thing you do when you hear a name or when you want to connect with someone? You go straight to Facebook to creep on them. Well, this guy had you can creep back in his old pictures. He's a very musician, artistic. I don't really know how to describe it, but definitely an artist with his instruments. And I met this guy. We went upstairs to his attic. Sounds super creepy, but I'll never.
At least it wasn't to his basement.
Yeah, so. Yeah. It puts the lotion on the skin. No, but we go up there, and prior to meeting him, I basically gave him our set list that we'd play. We went upstairs, and he whips out his acoustic guitar, and he's like, let's... He whips out his dick.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Just put his dick on the table, and I was like, you're hired. I'm just kidding. No, but... So he brings out his guitar, and he's like, let's just play just a couple random songs you might know. And so I brought my guitar as well, and I kind of played the rhythm, and we just hit it off immediately. And I'm forever thankful and grateful of Connor. Connor is one of those guys that he's going to do it till he gets it perfect. I mean, especially in music business, you can't go without not practicing, and you can't be stagnant and wanting to plateau. So this guy, I know Connor practices the guitar 2-3 hours every day. So it was really nice, and especially it was nice because I didn't really know much of the music scene in Columbus, nor how music business works. So, but yeah, he was a music teacher, and he ended up moving to Cairo, Egypt, to, I guess, just kind of pursue.
Well, he's teaching.
Yeah, he's teaching, but I know that Connor likes to travel. He's very adventurous. He likes to try new things. He likes to say that he's been there, done that, and he's a connection kind of. He likes to make connections, and I know that it had been weighing on his heart for a little while. And when he finally made the decision, I supported it 100%. But it sucks because I lost probably one of the best guitarists in Ohio, which is, I think that's a great compliment to pay Connor. So,
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do you go out and find band members?
Yeah.
Is there a
Tinder for bands?
Yeah, or a you know what I'm saying?
Swipe right. If I'm being honest, the best way to get a band member is through meeting people. You can go up there's Facebook pages where it's Ohio musicians, Ohio drummers, Ohio guitarists, and I've done that whole post. You're basically just posting a position for hire post in those pages, and I did that. Damn, this Miller High Life's giving me some burps. Should I belch?
Brought to you by.
That's hot.
I thought it was pretty good.
Good timing.
So anyway, as I said, I met Connor, but when you meet one musician that has X amount of connections, when they introduce you, you've made that connection as well. And the best way to do it is just to go out, go watch live music, go meet people, put your face in front of other people's faces. Because, as I said kind of in my preview video for this podcast, music is all relationships, and especially success is all relationships if you think about it. So if you're listening to this right now, and if you are an aspiring young artist and up and coming, or you want to grow, just start meeting people, start going to live music places, start connecting with people on Facebook, social media and stuff, and realize that it is a slow race. Nothing is ever going to happen overnight. I'm nowhere where I need to be or want to be, but I'm still building, and just start with building those relationships and getting in those music communities, because that is going to be your best bet, especially Connor left. If I didn't start to meet those people, I wouldn't have had a replacement. Or, another thing that when you get a band that you have to worry about is if this band member can't make it to this gig, and your gig's booked, like how are you going to replace it? So I've met a lot of sit-ins and other musicians that way as well.
Right. And I'll just add, like, you know, you can definitely pursue music, but I would still recommend going to college.
Yes.
So college isn't for everybody, but hear me out. Neither
Yeah.
is SoundCloud rapping.
Yeah,
So
I agree with Mina totally. If you're listening to this and you just want to pursue the dream and just pack your bags, move to Nashville, like, I'm not saying that's not a good idea, but I'm not saying that it's not a bad idea. I know that's worked for some people. There's no specific algorithm to making it big, making it, and I don't know. For me, I'm in nursing school. From the get-go, I have two great parents that put a good head on my shoulders, I believe. Maybe not. You can ask these guys. I'm probably a little stupid sometimes. But they always told me that first and foremost, you want to have a career that is going to put food on your plate and potentially food on your family's plates, and you want to have a job that is secure as well as something that you want to do. And so I started pursuing a career in nursing, and I'm finishing up my last year of nursing school. It's been a long college career for me. But yeah, that's a really good point, Mina. If you guys are doing something, have a plan B. Who said that? Danny Schaefer. He always say, have a plan B, have a plan B. So yeah, you need to have something that's going to support that dream as well. So, it doesn't get to a point where there's so much crap you want to do with your music that you don't have a pot to piss in. So, like, I really look forward to having a job and having a paycheck that I can dump money into my passion. So, we're going to take like a 10-minute break, and we will get right back.
And I'll be over 5 on any drive. Take you anywhere that you have in mind. We can go for a ride or just stay inside. Catch your movie right now if we can make it in time. It don't matter to me, girl, wherever you please. I'm fine wherever as long as you're right next to me.
All right, guys, and we're back. You guys are still listening to Hell Yeah, Pawpaw. And what you just heard was Over in 5 by Wes Garcia. Wes is a up-and-coming artist out of Lima, Ohio, I believe. He has opened for me once or twice. I can't remember. The kid is still in high school, I believe, which I think is actually pretty amazing. I know that he was lined up to play at the Hamler Music Festival this summer, which got canceled due to COVID. And he played there last year, and he opened up for a few big artists. I can't remember their name, but, I mean, I think that's just absolutely awesome out of a 17, 18-year-old kid, if y'all ask me. That's definitely a hell of a lot farther along than what I was at that time.
HYPP.
So, yeah, second segment, I guess I'll drink my second beer. And this is Coors Light, which is also a part of the Miller brand. So, like I said, built off the pillars of Mountain Dew and Miller Lite.
Douglas R. Sauter drink right there.
Ooh, old Doug.
Just so you know, that is the aluminum can, 16 ounces. Great deal on those.
Ben definitely gave this to me, and this definitely goes on the IOU list that has been building for the last 4 or 5 years. All right. So before we proceed further, if you're listening and have soft ears, if you don't like cuss words, or if you don't like kind of mildly crude humor, quit listening. And I like some funny stuff. So just want to start this second half, talking to Ben and Mina. I want you guys to get to meet these guys. These guys are seriously probably some of the best individuals I've met. The most successful individuals I have met. So I want you guys to each introduce yourself. Talk about who you are, what you do, your interests, what you want to do with life, or anything like that.
All right, I'll start. I was born and raised in a small town that I like to get made fun of. It's called Rossford, Ohio.
Rossford.
We have a total.
Go Bulldogs.
We have a total of 2 bars. Moe's is the GOAT. There's a story behind that. What I want to do in life, I have no idea. I want to make some money and provide for a family. I guess on my bucket list is I want to golf in the continental United States in every single state.
That's pretty cool.
I'm down to 5. I'm at 5 already.
Nice.
So
That's insane.
that's a little about me, I guess.
So Ben,
That's good enough.
we went to school at Otterbein together. So Ben and I had an overnight stay because originally my plan was to play football at Otterbein, and I played for a year. Plans changed, but Ben played all 4 years, and we met like February or March of our senior year in high school. This kid's from Toledo area. I'm from BFE, Ohio, and we got paired with 2 roommates that were on the football team, and that's kind of how we got to know each other.
I know we had our like orientation together on the same day and whatnot, and I showed up in a red Hawaiian shirt, which I thought was hilarious. But and then a little bit after that, like we had to find roommates, and I was in Cleveland doing something or rather, and I I didn't have your phone number or anything, so I was like, well, might as well just slide into his DMs, I guess, make it all awkward and whatnot. I was like, hey man, I don't know anyone that's going to Otterbein. You're about the only guy I know. Want to be roommates?
They were roommates.
So we meet, we go to this overnight stay, and we found ourselves at a party, like just a small, like 8-person house party. And I'll never forget, Ben was like, there was like 2 couches that made like an L in the room, and Ben was at the corner of it, like legs crossed, like even back turned. And like I think that they were like drinking Natty Lights, and I remember they said, "Hey Ben, do you want a Natty Light?" No, thank you. Just turned right back around, and me, I was like, "Yeah, I'll take one. I drink these all the time."
Timmy Tough Nuts over here.
So I had it. Did not finish it. So this is when Ben had literally like 4 to 5 inch long hair that just stood straight up like a porcupine.
Yeah.
I had a
He was
white
Brian Bosworth.
It was a white man afro. It was good. It looked good.
It's Brian Bos.
So now we're going to move on to Mina. Mina, let's hear your story.
Well, I was born in Cairo, Egypt. Actually, I moved to Columbus when I was pretty young. My parents did what they could. We got by. After a while, we were doing well. We moved out to out east of Columbus, and then my brother went to Otterbein, so then I also attended, and that's where I met these guys. I was very fortunate to meet them and a lot of other people that I'm still very close with, like Luke and Anthony. And I think just like Ben, we've all just like Ben has changed and Devin has changed, I've evolved so much as a person since my freshman year. I don't even recognize that person probably from freshman year, but the people didn't change, which is great. And I'm working on stuff now to try to be an attorney. So
Mina he will be attending law school at Ohio State here in the fall, and Mina, I think he said it perfectly. Like, he wouldn't be able to recognize like who he was. I mean, not necessarily recognize, but he's just like 2 completely different people. I remember when we came to college, and I was very dead set on nursing. I think, Ben, you were full sports management at the time, correct? Mm-hmm. And you ended up with a marketing and analytics minor, correct?
Yep.
So at the time, Mina didn't know what he wanted to do. I remember like our first half, maybe the whole freshman year, you still were like, I'm undecided. I don't know what I want to do. And this man completely did a 180 from kind of being a little clueless as to what his future would look like. And he started working towards getting into law school and wanting to be an attorney. And you want to talk about someone that does the responsible thing all the time. That's this guy right here. Ben, I know you like country music. Mina, what's the verdict now?
I do not like country music.
Holy shit.
I will say, like, when I was 18 and like came into college, I had never listened to country music. And I went to school like where there was a lot of people that listened to country, But like me and my friends and like our group, we just did not mess with country. I wouldn't say I hate it like I used to hate it now. I'll tolerate it. And there's even some songs that I like, but overall I don't really listen to it.
Do you like my music?
I do like
so
Devin's
why
music.
is that?
I'm a huge fan and supporter of my best friend Devin here, but I also think that like you have a good singing voice, and like and I really like when you like play acoustic, especially, and like it kind of goes acoustic, and your talent stands on its own. I just think that a lot of country that I've listened to is like too similar.
I could not agree any more with all the country sounding the same. I think, and this isn't bashing on it. I mean, like I would say I have on my Spotify, I have like 900 and some songs saved. A lot of them are mainstream hits, just like what you hear on the radio. I'm not taking away from that. I'm not taking away from any of that success or, what that's about. But I definitely think that there's like maybe 6 to 7 topics that you can fit every country song in. And one of the biggest frustrating things for me is like, I try to write music, but I don't want to write something that falls within those stereotypes, nor do I want to write about something that everyone else writes about. And one of the funniest things that I've noticed with modern country music is that they use like the same rhyming words. Like sometimes, like if it's the first time I hear a song, I will like hear the first word and like I will have about 3 guesses on what the following word is going to be in the next line. And it's just kind of frustrating sometimes because you hear that and it's like, this is just the same.
This is like, well, that's like the same complaint with like a lot of people have with mumble rap.
Yes.
And like I'll say like those claims or those complaints are valid. Like I don't in the same way like I don't listen to a lot of mumble rapping and stuff. Like I just have like a unique niche, I would say, of most of the artists I listen to. But yeah. No,
I don't know. One of the things I wanted to do with the Hell Yeah Pop podcast is to really just talk about the good country music and kind of pick apart. I don't know, like what makes this song stand out from the rest. Each artist's talent. I think Luke Combs is probably one of the best songwriters in country music.
Yeah, I'll agree. And his voice, I really like Chris Stapleton. I love his voice. Like,
yes.
Oh my God.
I what I like about Luke Combs is like he likes to do a lot of play on words, write about things that you wouldn't think could. I mean, I could name a dozen songs that he has that just has like a one line and you don't think about what it is, but he takes something so simple and creates so much meaning out of it. So like I think that's awesome. I do think that he sings about some mainstream stuff. I mean, what's the song? A Long Neck Ice Beer Never Broke My Heart. That's what it is.
But he's clever he's like the Wheezy of country.
Yeah, like but exactly that's what I was going to say. Like even when he sings about mainstream topics or any of those stereotypes, he chooses vocabulary like no other and uses a lot of metaphors that like a lot of artists don't, which is why I like Luke Combs so much. 'Cause I wear scrubs and I show up. I take the pain away when it gets too rough. I hit my knees and I pray for God's healing hand and His saving grace. Just when I think I can't see no more, another one crashes through that door. I'm one of many out here putting in time. I'm on the front line. I'm out here on the front line. Hey guys, Frontline is now available on all platforms, including Spotify and Apple Music, as well as Amazon Alexa. I decided to upload the live and acoustic version. I hope you guys can enjoy this song I wrote with Nick Clegg. So,
first off, congrats on the baby.
Yes,
yeah, I know Morgan's listening to this, man, so congrats.
Yeah, I know. He's totally listening. So,
I mean, what else is he listening to?
His
let's,
baby.
I want to read his post that he put on Instagram. It says the baby's name is Indigo Wilder. Indy Wilder is kind of what they're going with, and it says, "Little Wilder, I'm a changed man. Little Wilder, I'm."
Hey, Ben, would you mind not stuttering, please?
Yes, I know. Shit. Little Wilder, I'm a changed man. Since you came into this world Friday, I see mine differently now. It's not just me anymore, and I'm glad it's not. This year's been the hardest of my life in so many ways, but that's not what I will remember it by. You are. You are a gift, and this tough year just made sense. And then he goes on to say that he aspires to be the dad that he deserves, as well as the co-parent your mother deserves. I think that's really respectable.
Yeah, I can dig that for sure. Yeah, Morgan Wallen's going to be a dad. Shout out to someone who's about to be a dad as well. Morgan Wallen is a dad, actually, but my brother.
That's awesome.
Shout out to my future niece, Isla Marie. She's going to be swagged out.
I think it's an awesome name, too.
And this kind of dives right into a question I had to ask to you. What you have a nickname? I've known you for a while, and I don't know where or how or really when this nickname came up, but people actually call you Daddy. Like,
and here's the thing.
We don't. Ben and I don't because we're not dumb.
Here's the thing. No one gave you this nickname. No one said, "Oh yeah,
your dad." No one was like, "Oh, he's the black mom." No,
yeah,
no one was like,
"You're not King James or King Henry or OBJ." No. No one ever said Daddy.
But somehow he got this.
But somehow he convinced enough people that it was his nickname. It's impressive.
So do you want to just like, how did this?
Okay, so
just why?
I remember like freshman year, like. I don't know if I would just get drunk and say it or if I would just be like, I think it started as a joke, if I'm being honest. Like if someone would like say my name and I'd be like, that's Daddy. Or if I just like correct them, or if someone asked for my number and I would say my name is Daddy. Like I would just do it as a joke. Well, I remember the fraternity that we were in just like on my ass about it. They're like, no one calls you Daddy. Like, quit saying that. It's not funny. Like, no one calls you it. So, like, out of spite, the next day I had some duct tape in my bedroom, and I lived in the fraternity house, and I taped Daddy's room on the door. Like, I spelled Daddy's room with the duct tape, and I taped it on the door. And I honestly just had that just to aggravate everybody else in the house. Well, our house used to have a lot of extracurricular activities and some parties, which got a lot of traffic, and a lot of people would just come in the house and just see my room. And, I had a lot of friends. I'd have a lot of friends over at the house, have a lot of friends over in the room, and they'd always see that. And I don't know at some point, but like it started with kind of a group of girls that said it sarcastically, and then they just ended up calling me that. And then like for every other interaction, if that person that called me Daddy was in it, would say it as a joke, like it would just catch. And so I was just known as the guy who lived in Daddy's room, and I guess I was Daddy. It also goes with the balding head and the dad bod.
It was the self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh my gosh. Being 23 years old, balding.
It.
I pop Tums like it's candy. Like I don't know what happened, but I guess it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, that's where Daddy's room came from, or the nickname Daddy.
How does your dad feel about it? Because he's been in your room. Is he?
He's seen that sign.
Steven.
I think my parents at this point, like I said, I've always had the fear of God for my parents. My parents are very respectable people, and I always try to make them proud. And it's not that I don't. I just think they realize that I'm a dipshit sometimes, and like you just gotta let a dipshit be a dipshit. My first song that I ever wrote that really kind of started this whole journey was Gallia County Country Town. And I wrote that about my hometown. I feel like if anybody is going to write country music or they want to start being an artist, it's the first thing they write about. Some country bumpkin tune about their rural roots. But I did that, and people like to hear about their hometown. I got some radio play from it. But before all of that happened, I wrote the song, I recorded it, made a cheap music video with a buddy of mine named Wes Gerald. And I I was so excited to show my parents that we were sitting down after dinner. I was like, look, I wanted to surprise you guys and show you the finished product. And this whole time, like, I'm like smiling and like, you know, looking back at my mom, looking back at the phone, like seeing what they think of it. And she just has like the biggest snarl on her face. She's like, you are not putting this out. You have this cuss word, that cuss word, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, she definitely had a point. She really did. But on the flip side,
well, she was working at the school.
Yes,
so, like,
she was
little
looking.
kids were like, Devin Henry said blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, little middle schoolers would come up to her in class and be like, Mrs. Henry, did you know that your son says the H word in his song, or the S word, or
He
the
is
D word?
immoral.
And then she's just left speechless. She's like, yeah, he does. Shame on him, you know? So anyway, I recorded this song in the music video, and I'm showing them, and she's just absolutely pissed off about it. And we had this one hellacious argument, and this was the one time that I just kind of went against my mom's recommendation and posted the video. I definitely changed some of the lyrics and stuff and kind of like dubbed them over so it was a little bit more age appropriate. And the moment I uploaded it, I woke up with 5,000 views the next day. A week later, like 7,000. And I think right now it's up to like 30,000 views. It's definitely kind of trickled down. But when I got all that traffic and stuff, I kind of, just a small town kid from Gallipolis, Ohio, playing country music and stuff. People wanted to hear that. But that's just kind of where it started. I met Alan Cavanaugh. I worked at the Otterbein Clements Center, the recreational center. And I just worked that front desk, making sure people didn't steal weights, people were students, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote that Gallia County Country Town song, and like I said, I recorded it on my own computer, did my own thing with it. And I was mixing it down when I was working, and my boss comes by, and I was like, oh, shit. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm mixing down music. And he was like, what kind of music? And I was like, country music. And he said, let me hear it, blah, blah, blah. We heard it, and I didn't get in trouble for my boss, and he wanted to record some music. So that was kind of like my first time in any kind of home recording studio and like putting out music that's able to get on Apple Music and Spotify.
I just want to say, Devin failed at his job of not letting people steal weights. There was a guy that actually stole weights from our campus. Only Otterbein.
Not just like a couple dumbbells. No. Like it was like
Stole
10 barbells, actual like plates. Sorry, that sounded kind of funny. But yeah,
only at Otterbein.
The entire staff actually failed.
What the heck?
We eventually got some of them back.
Well, we caught him in the process. But hey, we didn't change our name, so
yeah.
Shout out to Capital.
Let's do a redneck word of the day.
What was there was one, you had one. It was
all right, there's going to be a lot of bleeping in this. Is it the it was hotter than a blister pussy in a hot pepper patch. Hotter than two fat bitches in a phone booth.
I think that was it.
I was sweating more in a whore in church, man. Let me tell you.
Wherever this is, it's hot. Like, it's hot.
The South is humid.
It's hot.
So, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I really want to thank you guys for coming on. Do you guys have anything else you want to say or talk about?
Thanks for having us.
I really appreciate
this,
it.
Opportunity.
So, if you guys are listening right now, whether it be Spotify, Apple Music, if you're watching the YouTube that has the video, if you don't care, please take a picture of it, somehow upload it to your Instagram or Snapchat story. So, also to wrap up, this is July 24th that you guys are listening to this. Today is my birthday. So, yeah, I think it's a great day to be alive, and I chose to put Frontline, the live and acoustic version, on Spotify and Apple iTunes. You can listen to it on Alexa. I wrote this song with Nick Clegg, and it's about all the frontline workers during the COVID crisis, and basically putting their lives at risk so that we can get through this. So, yeah, go check that out on Spotify and Apple Music. And like I said, if you guys can follow our page at Hell Yeah Pawpaw is on Instagram. You can check out the website, DevinHenryMusic.com. Click the podcast tab. We will be doing a Crocs giveaway, so stay tuned for that. And you guys have a great day. Be safe, and God bless.
Go Bulldogs.
Why?